So yeah, my name is Walter Estrada. I'm from Colombia. So today we're gonna have like a quick presentation about what's next in .NET 9. So basically, we are going to cover a few of the new features of .NET 9. I really encourage you guys to take a look at the articles, the Microsoft official articles about the what's new in .NET 9, the what's new in C# 13 and ASP.NET Core 9, etc. So basically, this will be our agenda. First, we'll have an introduction, a quick overview from a very high level of .NET 9. Then we'll explore the key new features in .NET 9, such as the enhancements in C# 13, ASP.NET Core advancements, and a few of the performance improvements. Then we'll see a couple of applications, a couple of demos about the C# 13 and the new ASP.NET Core new features. Then conclusion and a quick space for questions and answers. Let's get started with the introduction, the overview of .NET 9. In fact, the release candidate 2 was released last week, so this is pretty new for everyone. So basically, the focus areas are all related about performance and runtime environment. Runtime enhancements, such as this new feature called feature switches. But also dynamic adaptation to the application size in garbage collector, new C# 13 features such as supporting for collections in params, link improvements, partial properties and indexers, etc. More improvements in ASP.NET Core updates, but there are many more improvements. Let's say, for example, AI building blocks, ML.NET, Entity Framework Core 9, Windows Presentation Foundation, Windows Forms, etc. There are many improvements. So today we're going to cover just a few of them, mainly focus on C# 13 and ASP.NET Core 9 updates. So let's get started with the enhancements in C# 13. As I said before, there are many improvements, but we're going to see only these 4 improvements in C# 13, param support for collections, and expanded support for span. Basically, an span is like, this is not a collection, this is like a structure. This is coming from .NET Core 2 or 2.1. But an span is like a memory segment, which doesn't create like a copy. So that's performant and it works very well. The new / escape sequence, so it will replace the normal escape character represented by this sequence of characters. The partial properties, that's very interesting to me because normally we used to have like partial classes or methods. Now we have partial properties. That's interesting. Let's say, for example, one developer is in charge of creating the getting behavior from one property, and another guy is in charge of the one for setting, another one for getting. So that's interesting, these partial properties. And a new enhancement of link queue. Now we have count by and aggregate by. That's very interesting. Then we will see ASP.NET Core advancements. There are many advancements here, like limits, or yeah, to create easier than before this kind of limits to avoid multiple requests from the same host. This with Open API support, it's pretty easy to create Swagger documentation in minimal APIs instead of using the normal XML or decorators or comments right per the methods. Now we just need to add the with Open API support. It's pretty easy to create Swagger documentation. On the optimization in static asset delivery, so we don't have to compress, or I mean, the server doesn't have to compress the assets every time the server is delivering the assets. Now we don't have to use the use static. Now we have to use map static assets. And support for trimming not only in SignalR, but also in many other attributes uh, or features in .NET 9. So I know we like we would like to see some code here. Basically, what we're going to see is like a comparison. Here we have a few applications in C# 13 and for .NET 9, and for the same application for .NET 8. So basically, it's like a comparison. Let's get started with the first one. This is the normal params. Here we are passing like an array of integers. So this is .NET 8. The first version of the app is always .NET 8. Let's say, for example, app 1, app 2, app 3, app 4 are always in .NET 8, and then we have the same application in .NET 9. Let's run this application. This is a pretty simple application. We are only writing one number in console, but here we have 1 million numbers. And basically we're adding like an stopwatch to just to see how long does it take. So I have run this application many times, and it always takes like more than 20 seconds. And let's wait a few more seconds. We're almost done. Yeah, it took almost 24 seconds. Um, I have the same application in the .NET 9 here. It's commented, but just to see the error before compilation. As you can see here, it doesn't even compile in .NET 8. Let's go for the next, for the same application in .NET 9. We have this span support in params, but it's basically the same application. The only difference is we are using span, which doesn't create a copy in memory, but we are doing the same thing. We are only writing 1 million items in the console with the same stopwatch object, just to see the duration of the execution. And since we are not creating copies, that should be faster. Well, okay, it doesn't work pretty well. Only 22. Normally, believe me, it used to take less than 20 seconds, but yeah, that another option using these spans. Let's go for the second. This is not, I mean, this is an application, but a pretty simple application. Here we have the older version of the escape character. Um, I found this just easy to read, but instead of using all these characters for the sequence, the escape sequence, we are only using the \E. But what we are doing here is only writing in console that text in red. This text is in red, but it's the same than we are doing here in .NET 9, but with this new escape sequence character. This is another improvement in .NET 9 that could be pretty simple, but I found it very interesting just to get things easier for developers. Let's go with the third one. This is also, okay, this is the partial properties. The first version is in .NET 8, so we have partial properties here, and as you can see here, it doesn't even compile. Instead of the next version, here we support .NET 9 support partial properties. Let's run this. This is pretty simple, but probably in larger scenarios, we can have like different behavior for getting and setting a property. So we can split these processes through different developers, right? So let's run this. Yeah, it's able to retrieve the value from the property. We are not able to do the same in the .NET 8. And finally, these C# enhancements. This is this is a simple application. Here we have like a list of fruits, but we have some duplicated fruits, like the apple. We have the apple 3 times, banana is twice, orange is only once. So normally, if we need to count these fruits, or how many times the apple is there, how many times the banana is there, we have to do something like this. It works, but there are many sentences just to retrieve a number. Let's go, for example, with this version. And yeah, the apple is 3 times, banana twice, orange only one. And this aggregation is to sum the length of the results. I mean, in this case, the letters of the apples. We have the apple 3 times, so apple has 5 letters, so we have 15 letters for apple, and the same for bananas, and the same for orange. But I think it's pretty complicated to get these values with the older versions of LinQ. Now it's pretty simple. Let me show you here. Now we have this count by, and we get the same result. Let me run this again. Yeah, the count by, it has the same result. Apple 3 times, banana twice, and orange one. And the aggregation is basically to sum the lengths of the words by key. This is the structure to use the aggregate by. This is also new from LinQ. I mean, from C# 13. Yeah, any questions so far? Okay. Then let's go with the ASP.NET Core 9 enhancements. There are, as I said before, there are many enhancements here. The most of the new features are related to performance. But now we are going to see a few of them. This is the normal mapping of the normal presentation of, if we are going to create Swagger documentation, we need to add XML comments or decorators or something like that in a format like this one, right up here. But we don't have the with Open API. This is .NET Core 8. No, I'm sorry, .NET 8. This core I don't think should be here. Um, and yep, let's run this. I mean, that can be about the preferences, but I found this very interesting. Like, this is the Swagger from this web application one in .NET 8. This is also pretty simple. It basically retrieves a product with ID, name, and price. And this is the way we used to create Swagger documentation in .NET 8. But now in .NET 9, we don't have to use the comments or the decorators. I mean, this is the program CS file, but uh, in a real scenario, we have to create these the controllers or something like that. But it's basically it's very easy to add the with OpenAPI support here in the builder. We just need to add this, and it replaces the comments or the decorators in a normal API. But it's the same. I think that it can be about preferences from any. Let's run this, and it'll be the same output here in Swagger. As you can see here, it's basically the same. So it's getting the description from the OpenAPI support. Okay, and the last one, this is not a real application. This is basically the new way to deliver the assets. Let me compare. So here at the right, we have the .NET 8 behavior. We used to have use static files and use response compression, all of those kind of things, just to to enable this delivering assets from the server. Now we need to do these use static files. We only need to map static files, and the server is in charge of. There is no server specific configuration. We don't need to specify anything for Kestrel or IIS. And another important thing here is the server or the assets are compressed at build time. So the server doesn't have to compress the files every time is delivering the files or the assets. The okay, yeah. So basically, we have to get used to use these map static assets from now to, I mean, from starting from now. And yeah, finally, this is not new. The signal R. I think this is coming from .NET 8. But the new feature here is the native AOT or ahead of time compilation. So that works faster than before, and the trimming support. So before in .NET 8, we didn't have trimming support, so the application should be, I mean, the size of the application should be higher than the size of the applications we have now. But here we won't see the size of this application, but we can see like the SignalR demo, quick demo. Let me show here real quick. This is like simple chat. Let's suppose Walter is talking to Leona, and he say, "Hi, Leona." So we can have multiple clients using the chat, but it's supposed to be faster than before. Yeah, basically this is the behavioral signal R, but the new feature is that's faster than before, and the size of the application or the binaries is less than before. So basically that's it from the demos. Let's go for the conclusion that I have, but we could have multiple conclusions, is that all the effort Microsoft is doing and the .NET team is doing now is related to get our life easier than before. I think the most of the new features are related to performance and trying to simplify our lives. So I encourage you guys to take a look into the real articles. What's new in .NET 9? It has many things, not only C# 13 and ASP.NET Core advancements, but also AI building blocks. There are many things here, the machine learning. .NET Aspires. Aspire, this is also new. ND Framework Core 9. And yeah, that's basically my invitation for you guys. Does anybody have any question?